I'm Dr. Kelly Riccitelli, and I'm a professor of practice in the animal science department, and I specifically teach equine classes. I grew up in rural California on a dairy farm, and a famous horse trainer lived across the road, and I thought the horses were a lot more fun than the dairy cattle, so I spent a lot of time over at the horse ranch and just really got a love for horses, but I also really have a love for cattle and agriculture in general. I've been a part of Mentor Tech now for a little over, I think, 7 years. And I enjoy every year the students that I get to mentor. Some of them I've gone through 4 years with them. Others, come and maybe I only have them for a year. But every single student I get a lot from. I always learn something from mentoring the students. I think I was really, really blessed to have lots of different mentors. I can't really pick out just one, but just throughout my lifetime, I've had adults that have just really poured into me and built up my self-confidence and given me opportunities to do things that I would never have been able to do financially or just even mentally never thought I could do that. And I've, because of their mentoring, I've just had some really unique opportunities. And so I want other people to feel like what it feels like to be a world champion. And so I like to give those opportunities to young people. I really like the underdog. I like taking someone who doesn't have a lot of self-confidence and building them up and seeing them succeed. When I started mentoring Laura, we met. I learned about her background, learned that she was from down in South Texas, was from an agriculture background as far as her grandparents and so forth. And it became real apparent that she didn't have a lot of confidence in stepping out and doing things, but I really saw a lot in her. Her personality is over the top. She never meets a stranger. Just talking to her that first time, I just thought, this girl's gonna go places. She just doesn't know it yet. And so it's been fun to literally talk her into doing things. I talked her into taking her first drive in a car by herself, and that was a big step. And then talked her into going on an airplane. She had never flown in an airplane, had never traveled outside the state of Texas or even very far from her hometown. And now she is traveling to Spain, she is traveling to Washington, D.C., she is flying to conferences all over the United States, and it's just so fun to see what she's doing now compared to where she was when we first met. Laura, I think I enjoy our interactions every bit as much as she does, and she has a lot of qualities that I would like to improve in myself. So I'm mentoring her, but I think she's kind of mentoring me at the same time. I think a mentor is so important to everyone, to just seek out a mentor that is in the area of interest, because they're going to have connections and they're going to know about opportunities that would be hard for a student to maybe ever hear about. Laura talked about she was very intrigued with the Texas Commissioner of Agriculture. She thought, that would, when I asked her about what she'd like to do, she thought, well, I would love to do something like become the Texas Commissioner of Agriculture. She said that would really be a great kind of an opportunity. And so I, without saying anything to her, picked up the phone and called Shelby Havens and said, hey, don't we have a internship, at the Capitol in Texas that when do signups for that have to be, and how do I get the paperwork for that? And talked her into applying for that. She of course got it because again, she is a phenomenal individual. She got that internship at the Texas State Capitol, and that was, I think, a big turning point in her, realizing, gosh, she has something to offer, and she really can get involved in government. And so I think that was a big turning point. And then her applying for some of the scholarships that, again, a lot of times I had to talk her into, yes, you should apply for this scholarship. Then she started finding lots of scholarships herself, and so she started, seeing, gosh, there are opportunities. I just need to look out there. But again, a first-generation college student just doesn't know where to seek those things, and a mentor can help them find avenues into the places they want to go. Just don't know how to take that first step. I was a first-generation college student myself, knew nothing didn't even know what a scholarship was. And I'm 65 years old and still paying on student loans. I don't want other students to do that. And so I talk up scholarships. I just really want students to know what they can do to better themselves. I think that a lot of faculty members and staff, graduate students have the desire to want to help students, want to mentor students, but don't feel like they have the time. And some proteges do take a lot more effort and time than others, but I get every bit as much out of that relationship as the protege does, and it's something I look forward to in my week. I have two proteges that I meet with weekly, and I just look forward to those interactions. You're gonna get students that do and that recognize the value they're getting out of it, and that's special when you can have those types of relationships and really see those students soar and do well.